All right, so we've been solving proportions, and now we're at the point where we have proportions that are going to end up giving us quadratic equations, which means we're going to have a squared. And to solve a quadratic equation that works every time is putting it into quadratic formula. So if we solve this, we have x minus 9 over 3 equals 56 over x plus 4. I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, canceling that out. We'll multiply both sides by x plus 4, and that is going to cancel that out. So now, if we put this into a box, x plus 4 and x minus 9, we get x squared, 4x, negative 9x, and negative 36. So if we combine these, I just multiplied all the things in the box. So x times x, 4 times x, x times negative 9, and 4 times negative 9. So we end up with x squared. If we combine these two, a negative 9 and a positive 4x is going to give us minus 5x. And then we get minus 36 equals 56 times 3, which is going to be 168. We now need to get this problem set equal to 0. So we are going to subtract 168 from both sides. And we're left with x squared minus 5x minus 204 equals 0. We're now going to take this and put this in quadratic formula. Remember, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we have a equals 1, b equals negative 5, c equals negative 204. We get x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 5 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1 times negative 204, all over 2 times 1, which equals a negative and negative is a positive, so 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 plus, that's going to be 204 times 4, basically. So 518, sorry, 816, all over 2. If we add that, that's 25. We get x 5 plus or minus the square root of, that's going to be, sorry, 841, which is going to end up giving us all over 2, which equals 5 plus or minus 29 over 2. Then what we will do is you'll do 5 plus 29 over 2, which gives us 34 over 2, which is 17. And then the same thing, we do 5 minus 29 over 2, which equals a negative 24 over 2, which is going to be 12. And my apologies, it is negative 12. Try to do the next one on your own. Hopefully you try to do the next one. Here is the solution for the next one. You should have gotten x equals 12.5 and x equals negative 12. Okay, now, so we want to use what the information that we just did in the last problems to do this problem. So remember to always set it up in the proportion of the two shapes. So that's going to be S, C, S, E is going to be proportional to YJE, similar to YJE. And so we know that we have CE should be proportional to similar to YE. And we know the other side, we've got SE on this triangle is proportionate to JE or JE. So if we write this out in a fraction proportion, we get 18 over x plus 1 is equal to x minus 2 over 10. Remember, as mathematicians, I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this problem here. As mathematicians, we are lazy, so we're going to multiply this side by 10, but we actually are multiplying both sides by 10. Just get rid of that. And then we'll multiply this side by x plus 1. Really, we're doing it on both sides. That's why we're able to get rid of that one. And so we're left with 180 equals, if we put this into a box, we've got x minus 2, x plus 1, x squared. These are going to be minus 2x. This is going to be 1x. And then we have negative 2. So we're left with x squared. These combined together is going to give us negative 1x. And then we have minus 2. Remember, we need to get the problem set equal to 0. So we're going to subtract 180 from both sides. We're left with 0 equals x squared minus 1x minus 182. And then we are going to we'll just write out what we have. So remember, 0 equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So that means that a equals 1, b equals negative 1, and c equals negative 182. Next thing, okay, so we're going to take this and plug it into this quadratic formula. So we have x equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 182 all over 2 times 1. So x equals, and then we have 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 plus, we do 4 times 182, which equals 728 over 2. 728 plus 1 is 729. So equals 1 plus or minus the square root of 729 over 2, which is going to equal x plus or minus 27 over 2. Now we got two situations, which is 1 plus 27 over 2, which is 1 plus 27 is 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14. And then this is going to, then we have the other situation, 1 minus 27 over 2. 1 minus 27 is 26. Divided by 2 is going to give us negative 13. And those are the two answers for x. But that is not what y is, so we need to plug it back into y. And so you have to choose the one that is going to give you the positive answer. So if I plug this back in, right, into ye is x plus 1. That's the ye. So that means that I've got x plus 1 equals 15. That can work as an answer. but then we've got negative 13 plus 1 equals, that's going to be a negative 12. This cannot be an answer because you cannot have a negative distance. So therefore, x must equal 14. All right, let's move on to the next one. Same thing again. We've got AGN. AGN is similar to FLS. So AG is 24 over, which that would be FL, which is X, equals, we've got NG or GN, which is X plus 7 over, that would be LS, which is 6. Remember, we multiply both sides by the, and I'm changing this, this is going to be the I do. You'll try the next two on your own. You multiply by 6, multiply by X. This is going to give us 24 times 6 is 144, which equals, that's going to be X squared plus 7X. And then we're going to subtract 144 from both sides. We're left with 0 equals X squared plus 7X minus 144. Remember, we've got 0 equals AX squared plus BX plus C. That means that A equals 1, B equals 7, C equals negative 144. And so we get X equals negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 144 all over 2 times 1. So X equals a 7, negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 49 plus 144 times 4, which is going to be 576 over 2. X equals negative 7 plus or minus the square root of, that's going to be 625 over 2, which X equals negative 7 plus or minus 25 over 2. And remember, we'll have two situations, which is going to be X equals, it's S negative 7 plus or minus, plus, we're going to do plus first, just plus 25 over 2, which will give us 18 divided by 2, which is 9. And then we've got negative 27 minus 25 over 2, which gives us 32 divided by 2, which is 18. Negative 8. No, I'm lying. Negative 16. Negative 16. All right. And those are your two answers for X. Try to do the next two on your own using these examples. And here are the solutions for the next two. Notice for this one, the square root was not perfect. So just pay attention that it's okay that you don't get a perfect square root. Just take the square root and round, I say 2 decimal places, and then do the same process. And remember here, when you plug it back into the problem, if we came out with a negative answer, we can have a negative length. So that means that negative 6.3 does not work, but 3 does.